It is that time, what everybody has been waiting for from the time we started the draft previews to the time we talked season predictions. It's a Super Bowl. It's for all the marbles, down to two teams, winner take all, to call themselves Super Bowl 56 champion. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the Los Angeles Rams. Burrow going to be a champion, or is Stafford finally going to get his first one? OBJ's in the mix, that trio of receivers. We're going to talk about it. All right. Hit that subscribe button. It's nickel and down. I know it doesn't have the feeling of either of us having a team in the mix, but I personally, Shawn, have gotten used to that. I know you haven't.
Yeah.
You know, you've had some winners there, but I'm excited, man. It's a Super Bowl. I honestly do not have a horse in the race. I like both these teams. I know you have a hatred for one of them, but I personally just want to see a great game, man. I'm not putting any money on it. I'm not doing anything. The only thing I got riding on it is if me and you pick different teams on the locks this week. So I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna eat some nachos, probably make a pizza.
Yeah,
I'm gonna enjoy a good game, man.
You have to hit all. Once the Super Bowl comes, usually on regular Sundays, man, you got to pick and choose which garbage food you're going to eat. And I mean garbage for your body. They're the best foods on earth, honestly, if you ask me. But most Sundays, right. But on most Sundays, you choose one. On this Sunday, you get them all. And that's why Super Sunday. So, you throw the nachos in there, wings, of course, subs, pizza. I mean,
Subs. I didn't think about subs.
All the favorites. All the favorites.
Chicken nuggets.
If you're from where I'm from, it's called a hoagie. Yes, I am from Philadelphia, even though I hate your team.
Here it's called a sandwich. So yeah, nice. What's your go-to? I know chicken wings is the answer, but what's that second item on that venue that you go to every time?
Second item, as far as those types of game day foods go, it has to be probably the subs, man. I love a good, we just mentioned Philly, gotta have a cheesesteak. You know what I mean? Like cheesesteak, hoagie, wings. Then probably third, I probably have to go with nachos. Nachos is always a special occasion.
Yeah. And there's so many levels of nachos. I love just the crap processed cheese you dip them in at the movie theater. You know what I mean?
Get dirty.
Dude, give me that ridiculously gross nacho cheese. I'm here for it every time.
I like it, man. Nah, but you're right, Drew. It's Super Sunday, and kind of getting over it a little bit with my team. You know what I'm saying? Getting over it a little bit.
The game's gonna bring you back in. As soon as you hear that camera angle drops into the field.
Right.
You hear the commentators talk. Al Michaels' voice brings you back to to a nostalgic place, and you're going to be pumped. I know you.
Oh well, and the reason why I'll be pumped is again, it's just I'm on the other side of it now. It's still self-serving because I want to see the Rams lose. Like I want to see them lose, and not only that, but I don't know if you saw, but that video that they put out of the Bengals fans reacting to them getting to the Super Bowl was like a montage, like a minute. If you haven't seen that, go check that out, along with liking and subscribing to this show because we put you on, no cap. But check that out, man. It brings you right in to be a fan of the Bengals, and I think we all are at this point.
Yeah. It's just so funny. We talked about it last week. It's just both teams have redeeming qualities about them. It's hard to. The Rams are villains by default, but it was hard to get them there. But we're going to talk Super Bowl previews. We're bringing our buddy Randy Slack, our resident Bengals correspondent, back to talk to us. We're going to talk to him about some 3-and-out questions and just overall everything Bengals. And then we're going to bring in our buddy Chris Marra, talk prop bets. because I don't even know if he likes prop bets, but he seems like a prop bet kind of guy. So we're going to talk prop bets with Chris Marra and who he thinks is going to win the Super Bowl.
That he got some doozies.
And then he also got his guy. He got his coach on the Giants. So I want to see how he feels about that. But real quick, before we get into all of our guests and our Super Bowl preview show, got some housekeeping notes for you.
Housekeeping.
Alvin Kamara arrested in Vegas after the Pro Bowl. Assault while inflicting serious injury. Yeah. That's what he got booked for. He beat the shit out of somebody.
He apparently did and went to the hospital and said that he was actually the victim. And upon investigation, cops was like, no, you are the aggressor here, sir. And you know, one of those crazy is I was talking to my coworker. He had no idea about it. So I was talking, this happened at like, it came across the wire at like 7 this morning, whatever. And I was like, did you hear about Alvin Kamara? He got arrested. He was like, I just saw him on the field. So I was like, it wasn't that
he walked
long.
Straight through the locker room, punched someone in the parking lot, like
straight to booking, straight to booking right after that.
Man.
Damn, I don't know how that's going to turn out, but we will see, and could miss some games potentially.
Facing up to 5 years.
Wow, yeah. Saints.
Yeah, it just keeps piling on, man, and I love it. Dolphins hire 49ers offensive coordinator Mike McDaniels as their new head coach.
Yeah.
Shanahan product. So I know you're on board with this.
Yeah, I mean, I figure, like, look, this dude just got hired by Miami, and I have to imagine they said he was very impressive in the interview, and
he had a plan for Tua. Is what they said.
Well, I'm saying, like, I imagine the question probably went something like this, like, what's your plan for Tua? He's like, bro, I just went to the NFC Championship game with Jimmy G.
You heard of a man named Jimmy Guarantee?
Right. And he was like, well, I'm sold. You know, like that. I think it probably went something like that. You know,
I hope they didn't take that the wrong way. And now the Dolphins front office is like, give me Garoppolo. Come on.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But I figure, on paper, semi-mediocre quarterback versus semi-mediocre quarterback. You know what I mean? And like, we'll see how those narratives change. But good for him, man. Good for him. We'll see what he does.
Texans almost made Josh McCown. No NFL experience, no coordinator roles, no tight end coaching jobs. A high school coach almost announced him as their head coach, and then they're like, nah, we were just playing. We're actually talking to Lovie Smith about it, right?
They probably want they probably want to get that man on staff or something. Like it seems like you probably heard this too, but like his Josh McCown talking about his name keeps popping up in these coaching searches with no prior experience, and it's like maybe he's just the NFL's guy, like
I mean, he stayed around
league circles.
He stayed around for forever and never really did much, so
not on the field, no.
Yeah. What do you have, like a 17-year career or something crazy like that?
Yeah, God, that 2014 season when he was my quarterback, man, like they hyped
he spent a year as my quarterback too, though. So
they hyped it up so bad, and it was so bad.
Yeah. Steelers staying in house. They're promoting secondary coach Terrell Austin to their defensive coordinator Jeb. So that's got to show Tomlin's gonna stick around for a little bit.
Oh yeah,
promoting his guys.
I don't imagine Tomlin's going anywhere, because whenever coaches leave, it's a big deal in Pittsburgh, because they've only had like 3. So
AFC beats the NFC in the Nobody Cares Pro Bowl. Herbert and Crosby, 2 nickel and dime guys, were the MVPs.
Yeah. And shout to, the game was horrible, but shout to the Bucks players who were there. Yeah, shout to the Bucks players who were there.
I saw Brian Burns. I see you.
Oh yeah.
That's about it. That's all we had.
But apparently, like Antoine Winfield Jr. had a pick, Mike Evans had a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So they showed out a little bit.
Okay,
they showed out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Burns got a 2-hand sack. So that was cool.
Yeah, it counts.
So what was more disappointing, the Pro Bowl or the Washington Commanders?
Yeah, probably the Pro Bowl by a mile. But I mean, I'll tell you what though, I do like the uniforms though. I do like the uniforms.
Yeah, and I like the almost the new era type logo.
Yeah,
You know,
it
like
looks
you know what I'm
good.
talking about, like the hat, like the circle.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I do appreciate that the football team kept the W on the helmet as opposed to going with the logo. So
Yeah.
That W strong. The W strong. The uniforms are strong. The name is trash though.
Yeah, yeah. At least go Warriors or something, man. I don't know.
They had the opportunity and they missed it.
Yeah. Well, just another layer in the Brian Flores lawsuit. Hugh Jackson has emerged as a big Brian Flores supporter, and he says he has proof that the Browns did him pretty dirty, like the Dolphins did Flores. So a lot of stuff's about to come to light.
It really is, and I mean, maybe we'll touch on this a little bit later. You know what? I'll save it for 3 and out. How about that? I'll save it for 3 and out.
Well, how about for 3 and out? We go ahead and bring in our resident Bengals fan, Mr. Randy Slack. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Yo, how's it going?
Good, man. Everybody, our resident Bengals correspondent, Mr. Randy Slack. Randy, how you feeling, buddy? I know you were all at an all-time high heading into the AFC Championship game. Well, you did it. You're the AFC champs. Now you're in the Super Bowl.
Man, it's wild. Like in the AFC Championship game, honestly, I thought the day of, I was like, we're going to lose. We're going to get beat. I'm like, this is where the run ends. And then they're down 21-3. And I'm like, yep, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. Until it wasn't. You know,
Yeah.
the thing with these guys is they don't understand they're the Bengals. You know, they don't remember all the nonsense from the last 30 plus years. Like
Burrow's swagger is outweighing it all.
It's weird. It's like I watch the Rams, and the Rams, it seems like they're always trying to find a way to give the game away. You know, Stafford throws that ball, the 49ers guy drops it at the end of the game. They have a big lead on Tampa. They have that big lead on Tampa, then they blow it, then they have to win at the end. It's like, buddy, I don't think you can do that to Cincinnati. I don't think you can give them an opportunity to beat you. Throat. Because they absolutely will. Ask Patrick Mahomes what happens if you give them a little bit of a chance.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good they are.
Confidence looks good on you there, Randy. I like
it. It's weird. I don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel as confident in this game as I did when they played the Tennessee Titans. I felt pretty good about that game. That game was a lot closer than I thought. And I think this is going to be a similar game.
Okay. I'll be honest, and I think Drew, you know, like I kind of been on this train, and I was confident last week in y'all boys, even though it was like y'all were down 21-3. At that point, I was like, damn, maybe I was a little too confident. But again, don't call them the cardiac cats, because like they bludgeon teams. Like they're too multifaceted. And the Rams, they like Slack said, they've been kind of lacking here, kind of piddling around in the middle of games. And it seems to me like if they don't come out, like they come out, their scheme kind of gets them on top of teams, and then they kind of hit that lull, and then they have to win it in the end. And I think Cincinnati is just too talented right now in order for the Rams to be able to win at home in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, I think the big difference is going to be the running game, because Joe Mixon, let me just throw you these season lines at you. And I know Akers was hurt, and he's the main guy in LA, but Mixon, 292 carries, 1,205 yards, 13 touchdowns, 16 as a team. Mixon had 13 of them. Burrow had 2. Piran had 1. But here's Michelle, their leading runner. 208 carries, 845 yards, 4 touchdowns. They only had 10 rushing touchdowns as a team.
Yeah.
So I think the running game can be a huge factor in this. Especially Akers is back, but he's beat up.
Yeah, I think, the running game's going to be big. It's going to be really interesting. Both passing games are incredibly volatile. They're both teams. I think they are like 1-2 or 1-3 in the NFL in yards per completion.
Yeah.
So both teams like to go vertical. Both teams have thrown a decent amount of interceptions. Joe Burrow's like 5th in the league, and Stafford's like 1st or 2nd.
Yeah.
Like
Stafford
both teams
had
will give
17 on the season. Burrow had 14.
Yeah, they throw the Stafford's 2 are pick sixes, which are really dangerous.
What was it? 4
plays.
of them were pick sixes?
Like
honestly,
4 or 5, yeah.
You know what that tells me is we can expect picks in the next game. And it might come down
especially
to
with these two defenses.
Yeah. It might come down to when those picks are thrown more so than anything. You know what I mean? Because that could really be the nail in the back if you throw it at the wrong time in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Here is
too a big thing is the pressure on these teams.
Yeah.
You've got Cincinnati, the young team, and you can't take it for granted. Ask Aaron Rodgers how many Super Bowls you can really get to in your career,
right?
Just because you get to one early. But the Rams don't have a pick until the 5th round. They have all their picks and all their things are built into. They're playing at home in the Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford. This is supposed to be their year.
This is what they want.
What happens if it doesn't go well for them early? Does he start pressing? Does he start pushing?
You hit the nail right on the head. And take a look at the Nickel and Dime football account. We asked that same question to Get Up ESPN today. We said, what would happen if that's what nobody's talking about is what happens if the Rams lose, because all their marbles, all their chips are on the table right now. You know what I mean? So let them mess around, lose this game. They are adding to the list of teams with whole offseason changes more than likely.
Well, you were talking about pressure from the defense. Stafford took 30 sacks this year. Not great, but not terrible. No. Burrow played one fewer game than Stafford did because he missed that one. 51 sacks.
It's an insane number.
16 games, 51 sacks.
Who got sacked? Between the two teams.
Do what?
Between the two teams?
No, Burrow by himself took 51 sacks. Oh, God.
Well, they had 9 in that one game, so damn.
Oh, this was just the regular season. This wasn't the postseason.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too. Like, for me, the scariest thing about the Rams defense is Aaron Donald and Von Miller and all those guys. But we've already seen that game that Cincinnati's had to go through. They already played the Titans team that sacked Joe Burrow 9 times. Like, how many more times can the Rams get to him? 15?
I mean, don't ask that question.
Don't test that, man.
But I don't know how you're going to rattle him. I mean, maybe you can just outplay him. That's fair. But it's just insane to me that it's not like you can't look at the team and go, oh, well, if you get to Joe Burrow, you're going to beat him. It's like, you sure?
It's not necessarily the case.
I don't know how you really beat them.
That's true. And confidence what's crazy is Burrow's confidence is literally like, you can see it trickling down the slack over here. I mean, like, the confidence is oozing through. And I think that it breathes through the quarterback. And to talk to your point earlier, on the day of the Super Bowl, I had the confidence, and I didn't really, if you go back and look at last season's episode, I asked Drew about if, Laura was worried about the offensive line. Like, day one, I was like, is she worried? And he was like, nah. And like, in my head, I was like, that is alarming, because that's going to be the game. And it wound up being the game. I say all that to say confidence is key, man. And if you feel like that, you follow that. Imagine how the team feels coming into this game. You know what I mean? Right. It's a good place to be in. It's a very good place to be in for a young team to have that.
Yeah, they're a crazy team to watch. I mean, the kicker, Evan McPherson, going out there like, I'm going to make these kicks.
Gonna win.
When he went, I don't know if you saw the clip of him on the Pat McAfee show. He pointed out Pat had a ball on his table that had all these records that Adam Vinatieri had. And one of them, this was before the AFC Championship game. Right. He looked at it and he goes, what's the record for most points in a postseason? because Adam Vinatieri had it, and he goes, "I think I might go after that one." Like, that's a
Nice.
rookie kicker. Like,
Yeah.
you kidding me? Like, every dude
Gonna be
on
one
this
of the
team
greats.
is just like, "Well, I'm gonna get that record. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. We're gonna do all this stuff." It's like they don't. Maybe some of it's misguided, but at the same time, it's like they're not afraid of these games.
They're definitely they're not afraid, and I think that's what it takes. That is what it takes for a historically losing franchise like the Bucks, like the Bengals, to get over the hump. You just need naivety, basically.
It took, or just you can do it, because like Tom Brady coming in changed Tampa around. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
Tom came in, is like, I know I can win, and Tampa was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tampa, you bring in Brady. It's like, oh yeah, like he can tell us we can do it. Okay, like you believe it.
Yeah.
If Tom Brady tells me I'm going to win a championship, I'll be like, okay, Tom. Yes.
That is what I'm getting from this Bengals team. Though that I don't know why I feel that way, but like I felt this way. Go back and like and subscribe to these episodes back in like week 9, week 10. We told you this team has it all. They just got to put it together, and then the switch flipped and they started winning games. Not only winning games, but coming back to win games, being on top of teams to win games, defense, offense. I think, and I say all that I'm not trying to downplay the Rams, because the Rams are, not only are they a good team, but they're also desperate. So you got to watch out for that as well. So it should be a good game.
Nice. They're an incredibly talented team. They have a ton of stars on that team. They beat a 49ers team that had beat them 7 times in a row. They got through them. They got through Tom Brady in Tom Brady's house.
Yep.
There's a lot to be said for that. Like, they're an incredibly talented team. They're a well-coached team. And, they're playing. This is what they went for. And it's funny because, like, obviously I want my team to win. But I can appreciate an NFL franchise who's not saying, well, let's kick it down the road. Let's try to win next year. Let's try to build. They're saying, we're going for all this stuff right now. We're going all in. And I like that. I want teams to be aggressive and trade every future asset they ever have to try to win a championship in 1 year. Like, hell yeah, dude.
Selling your soul, man. Selling your soul.
It's so hard to get there. Why not?
Yeah. And Drew, to your point, maybe that's why, part of the reason why they're the villain, because America loves to see people fall on their face. You know what I mean? Like for every underdog story, like
you love a good fail story too.
Right. Yeah. Misery loves company, man.
Well, Randy, real quick, while we got you, we do a segment called 3 and Out, where me and Shawn just ask each other some questions. So we want you to join in this week, because I got a good first down for both of y'all. Shawn, if you want to start it off first, and we'll save Randy for afterwards. But this AFC is shaping up to be ridiculous going forward, with Burrow, Herbert, Allen, Mahomes, Jackson. When it's all said and done, in the AFC, their group of quarterbacks they have right now, who has the most Super Bowls?
Out of those
championships, they can go, but they got to win.
You're right. They got to win it. Out of the basically the AFC West, right?
The AFC young guns. So you got Allen, Jackson, Mahomes, Herbert, and Burrow. Jones, Mac Jones, you can throw him in there too.
Yeah, I'd probably say I think it's still Mahomes at this point. But let this Bengals team mess around and get one. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they got to get one first, but I got to imagine, I'll say Mahomes only because not only has he already gotten one, but he's on a 10-year contract. So they're going to keep that.
Kelsey's around for another like 4 years.
Yeah. They should keep pieces around him. So that's my quick answer. What about you, Slap?
I have to agree with you. I think Mahomes, I think the Chiefs organization's a really well-run organization, comparatively speaking to some of the rest of those. I like Lamar Jackson. I get worried about his durability just because he's been hit so daggone much.
He's going to start breaking down, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he can play at that super high level that makes him special. He would be my number 2 choice on there just because of how good that team always is year in and year out, how well they're coached.
They still almost made the playoffs with all the injuries.
Yeah.
This year.
They're an incredible team, an incredible organization. But yeah, I would have to go Mahomes just because he has won, and I like that organization better than any other team out there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess quick follow-up, but which out of those quarterbacks, taking the quarterbacks out of it, which franchise out of those guys do you think will mess it up for that quarterback?
I can see LA ruining Herbert.
And I hope not, man. I hope not.
But me neither, but I can see it.
How often is that or do we see a player and we're like, man, they really didn't do anything for that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you look back on it, you're like,
I mean, we still got to see if Baltimore's ever going to get a receiver in core in there. You know what I mean? Like,
and Baltimore's usually a franchise that doesn't mess it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what I think is kind of alarming about Jackson's situation. But yeah, you talking about Jackson kind of spurred that thought in my head about franchises possibly screwing it up.
I don't know if Zach Taylor's really a great coach. It was funny because I think last year people were talking about him getting fired, and there was rumblings of it. And now you go to the Super Bowl, and it's like, well,
you're good for a couple of years.
You're good. I feel like honestly with Burrow in Cincinnati, that's probably the worst situation. I think they could screw that up. Though at the same time, I'm starting to worry a little bit about Buffalo, just because like they didn't have a running game outside of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You play in upstate New York, you have to have a running game because it's going to be crappy weather if your team's any good. If you're playing a playoff game, you're playing in Buffalo, New York.
Yep.
You need to be able to pound the rock, and they weren't. I don't understand why they don't build a team that plays where they play. They don't play in a freaking dome. If they play in the dome, you don't need it. But you don't. You don't play in New Orleans. You play in Buffalo. So
that's a good point. This is a very good point.
That's a team. I like us drafting Slater for Herbert out on the West Coast. I think that's a good move. They're building a foundation there for him.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do.
We'll see. All right, what you got on second down, Shawn?
All right, so second down, man. I guess keeping it with the quarterbacks, but this time we're talking free agent quarterbacks, and I want both of y'all to give me the top three in my opinion. In my opinion, is going to be Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Gotta mention him, and probably Derek Carr. And I want to know, in the end, in this quarterback carousel, where do you think those guys land, even if it is on a team who currently has a quarterback?
I still am holding out some weird hope, like not hope, but for some weird reason, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to be with the 49ers. I don't know why. I feel like they're going to make that happen some way, somehow. And then that's going to leave Denver scrambling. So then maybe Denver will try to go after Russell too. And Russell will be like, I already told y'all my markets. So I can see
Carr. Like Russell will say,
what if Carr wants some division, some revenge and goes to Denver? You know what I mean? Like, I think ultimately Vegas is going to keep Carr, though. I think Carr is going to go back to Vegas.
Yeah, I could see
because I think McDaniels can see doing more with him than Mariota. And I also can see McDaniels' head spinning and being like, I like them both. Let's keep them both. Because Mariota's on a friendly contract, right? Like Mariota's
on a friendly contract. Honestly, Mariota's a quarterback that I was not thinking of. Like, he kind of is ripe for the picking. I mean, you think they won't give him up some? You think Las
throw
Vegas
a second round pick?
Second round pick.
Yeah, throw a second round pick.
Second round pick, man.
Yeah. So I think just being a Carolina fan last year and seeing all the top quarterbacks go other places, I can see Denver being that this year.
Yeah.
I still think it'd be cool if like Denver got like Matt Ryan or somebody, you know what I mean? So like, I think for some weird reason, and I could be completely wrong, because I mean, all of us that talk sports into a microphone are usually wrong, but give me Rodgers in San Francisco and Russell in New York as a Giant.
Yeah, I got you.
Because I would say the Saints, but I don't think the Saints job is that enticing anymore.
No.
True.
What you got, Slack?
I think Carr and Rodgers, I don't know if they move, which is lame. I get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach that Russell Wilson comes to Carolina and it's an absolute disaster. That's what worries me. I there's part of me that Tepper's like, we need to get a guy. We need to get a guy. That's going to be our guy. And it's like, bro, like that's just Seattle on the East Coast. No offensive line, good receivers, and he's just running around there.
What are we? We already
working.
don't have draft capital. What do we got to give up for him? McCaffrey and what? Like our future drafts?
I don't know. But I get worried about it. I get worried when people, oh well, he played. He might go to Carolina. It's like, no, dude,
please
don't. I want that.
I feel like Drew was just out here in La La Land with the Panthers, and Slack just came through and sniped him with the straight, and just like kicked that whole franchise right now. It's like, oh, we get a dynamic quarterback, and now he still sucks. But no, they've
used their let's bring in a veteran quarterback cachet twice using Teddy Bridgewater and stupid Sam Darnold. So like even if a guy's available, I feel like they've
just
kind of
draft
have to
somebody,
sit it out.
Man. Just
they
draft
have
somebody.
To try to draft a guy.
Let Darnold get
I'm
absolutely destroyed next year behind that terrible offensive line, and let a rookie just come up. Get a Kenny. Like I don't even care if we use that 6th pick for a quarterback. You know what I mean? Because quarterback, you reach for him. You have to. You reach for him every year. You reach for him. So if we got to, we got to.
I'm praying that Philadelphia calls. I'm praying the Eagles call and be like, hey, we have 19 and 20. We got 19 and 20. Let's move up to 6. We can take an impact guy for us. You guys can
take
2 first-round picks.
Line help.
You can take one there at 19. Move back and get some.
That might be the move.
Get Sam Howell.
That might be the move. That might not be the move.
I'm praying to do that.
I'm telling you, he's going to be a good
every day. Every day, if I'm Scott Fitterer going, hey, man, I was just at Jim's on South Street. It's awesome. Anyway, what do y'all think about pick 19 and 20? Can we have them?
Right.
We'll give you 6.
Bro, I mean, that honestly, that would work for Carolina because they need more than one pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could supplement that offensive line, and they could do that by moving back. Watch for Carolina, a sneaky good trade back.
I would love to do that because we got nothing. We got that 1st-round pick and then a 3rd-round pick and then like 5 and 7.
And it ain't the defense. That's the problem. Yeah.
If you're Philly, you get to move up to 6. You're a playoff team, and you get to add a top 6 player in the draft.
Receiver, go get the best receiver in the.
Yeah, you can add somebody who can really make a difference for your team, like when Julio Jones went to Atlanta all those years ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Who got on 3rd down?
3rd down. This is mainly directed at Shawn, but I want to see what Slack says about it too. You're the Tampa Bay GM/owner. What 3 names are you submitting as your top 3 Brady replacements?
Well, I was just about to
those are your 3
earlier. Yeah, I was just well, no, not necessarily. I mean, I'll put it this way: Russell Wilson's number 1. Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Right. There's no way that we're getting Aaron Rodgers. And I'll ask you a follow-up question after this, because I was thinking about this a little bit, but it's got to be Russell Wilson. After that, it has to be Aaron Rodgers. Like, I have to put him in there, but I put an asterisk, so I'm not even looking at that because I don't think it's going to happen. But Derek Carr's got to be number 2. And honestly, number 3, I don't want Kirk Cousins. Keep that man away from my franchise. Honestly, it's Marcus Mariota. Yeah. I really thought about that. Like,
come on, man, get Jimmy G in there.
Bro, this almost happened in 2015, except, Dirk Cotter didn't get what he wanted because everybody at Lovie Smith wanted Jameis Winston, and that's why we drafted Jameis Winston. But now it's Jason Light's show. Maybe he has the chance to get Marcus Mariota on the cheap 5 years later, 7 years later.
Nice.
So good call. But I guess the follow-up question, Denver's obviously looking for a quarterback. Is it smart? Maybe I'll just turn this into the 4th down, or no, because you got 4th down. But just a follow up.
You got 4th down. You go.
Oh, okay. Is Denver like a kind of a fake destination for quarterbacks because you have to compete in that division. So is it smart for quarterbacks, a la like an Aaron Rodgers, to actually go to Denver when you think about it?
I don't think so. Because you basically are every game's playoffs, so you got to win that division.
Yep.
Because even the best divisions get 3. Like, you don't want to be that team out every year. You know what I mean? And Herbert's going to get better.
Yeah. Mahomes there for 10 years.
Mahomes is good. Mahomes, he can, even when everyone thought he was down this year, they came back, got the number 2 seed in the AFC.
Everybody's beating the Chiefs while they were down too.
And then you got Vegas, so Vegas is going to throw some money at the problem. New shiny coach, new GM. Like, they got an owner that is used to losing but kind of wants to win. So I guess you could always, you could hope that you are better than the Chargers and Raiders and make it into the playoffs.
Man, I really think that McDaniels hire is probably going to be a great move for their future. Keeping Carr or not, but go ahead, Slack. My fault.
No, you're good. Denver's, I don't know. Like, I know they've got some weapons there, but the division is tough, and I don't know how much
of it used to be.
I don't know how much of a destination that is. You know what I mean? It's not like you have like a big time coach.
You got to learn to play in the altitude.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as the Tampa, back to that question, I think Derek Carr is probably my number 1 choice if I'm Tampa. Number 2, I'm looking if we're developing some sort of rookie. And 3, if I'm taking a flyer on a guy, why not take a flyer on Mitchell Trubisky? How bad? Honestly,
Slack, you just made me so happy.
He's not that bad.
And he spent a year with that getting developed in Buffalo.
How terrible he was, and it's like, look,
he was
at
on
his
a really
numbers.
Bad team.
Look at his record. Look at his numbers, and it's like, they're not terrible. Put him in a really good offense. I bet he can get carried for a few years. He's not the worst guy.
I love it. I love it.
I don't want that.
Say it for the people in the back.
Yeah, I don't want that.
All right. Slack, we got to get our buddy Marra in here, but real quick, what's your Super Bowl prediction? What's your score?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, just because every Bengals playoff game hasn't been the explosive game I think people thought they would be. And I can't remember if I'm going to pick them, but yeah, I want to go 24-20 Cincinnati. Right. I think it's a close game. I don't think that offense has struggled in the red zone all postseason in Cincinnati. Yeah. They're a team that, and they played a historically bad red zone defense against the Raiders. They weren't able to get in there. If Zoma can't play the tight end, that hurts them in the red zone. I think both defenses play well. I think the Rams probably shoot themselves in the foot maybe twice. Cincinnati does it once, and I think that's the outcome of the game. Just a bad turnover somewhere.
Nice. Thank you so much, Randy. I appreciate it. Where can they find you online?
Thanks, guys. Our Slack37, Twitter and the Gram, Slack on Sports, ESPN Wilmington from 11 to 12, Monday through Friday.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Go Bengals.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All
See ya. Who day?
All right. Well, up next, we got our buddy Chris Marra. Chris, our resident Giants correspondent. So we got to ask, you got your guy. How you feel?
Yeah. I'm excited. Cautiously optimistic.
That's fair.
Because after the Joe Judge press conference, when they first hired him 2 years ago, I was ready to run through a brick wall. Like he said everything I wanted to hear. But I think everything that they're doing makes sense, from the GM to the coach to the assistants. They're all established guys at what they do. So I'm excited. I think they'll build the team the right way, because that's how they built Buffalo, but I don't know what to expect.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm not even cautiously optimistic about the Panthers. Like, I'm affirmative negative on the fuck this year up.
Yep.
All right. Well, how you feeling about the Super Bowl? How you liking this matchup?
I mean, I'm excited, but I'm a big Joe Burrow guy. I feel like everyone is. Like, how can you not?
It's hard to hate that guy.
Yeah.
Until he does something. Watch this time next year. We'll be like, man, fuck the Bengals.
I know, right? some tweets come out from 20. No, but I'm a big Matt Stafford hater. So
I forgot that you hate Stafford too.
Yeah,
you and Sean can bond.
Yeah, and I like Stafford before this year. Like, and I was rooting for him, but I thought he was gonna whoop that ass, and that didn't happen. So now I have to hate him.
Yeah, and like I think everyone's like, well, see, he's not in Detroit anymore. Now he's in a Super Bowl, and it's like Jared Goff took this team to the Super Bowl too. So
he's got more weapons than Goff.
Right. Exactly. So I think he's good, but I hate the whole like, oh, let's feel bad for him because he was in Detroit.
They needed an upgrade at quarterback to get over that hump. They got an upgrade, but you can't take away from the rest of the team they have built around this dude. Right. It's not Matt Stafford taking a bum team to the Super Bowl.
Right. Nah.
It's a good team protecting Matt Stafford and his pick sixes.
Right. That's probably a prop bet, right? Over under 2 pick sixes for Stafford.
Oh, I imagine the picks got to be a part of it.
The prop bet was basically is if he threw one or not, because it was at a half a pick, which if you throw a pick, So, but yeah, we got some fun. We got some fun prop bets for you. I thought this would be a good segment. I love the first one. First one I found: will Snoop Dogg smoke a blunt on the halftime show?
Wait, so you can actually bet on that?
Yeah. Yes. Yes is negative is minus 300.
That is the easiest money I've ever spent in my life. The NFL is not letting that happen on national TV. No.
I think you will.
I think he will too. I think he will too.
It's California.
I think he'll have one in his pocket and just fucking being able to like, wow.
Okay, so I want to see how this plays out because I really think like there's a good chance I forgot it's in California, but does it count if you don't see it? Like say he lights one up and the camera immediately pan or cuts.
I think you got to see him at least light one up. I think that's got to count. You know what I mean? Right. I think even if people are like, oh, which is crazy to me. It's legal in 37 out of the 50 states, and it's still got such a stigma. Okay, that's for a different podcast, a different day.
The refs will throw a flag on that one for taunting
from the locker room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Another prop bet was what will be the first celebration with the Icky Shuffle as the leading number one odds so far. So I don't know if that's got ties to like LA or what, but that was the first one. I figured it'd be the Gritty, but
right. I was going to ask about the Gritty.
Even Mac Jones hit it in the Pro Bowl. Come on now.
Yeah.
I
still think it's hilarious. No, the most hilarious thing about the Gritty is that Adam Schefter literally messed his knee up, like tore his meniscus doing the Gritty.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
He did okay though.
He did, but in the end, did he though?
No, you can't tear something doing a celebration, man. Come on.
No.
This is a fun prop bet. Who will be brought up in the broadcast first? Brady or Rodgers?
Brady.
Yeah.
Rodgers is the leading favorite right now.
Really? Yeah. I might take that.
Yeah. Brady was just in it last year, so they're like I figure that's like an easy transition.
And he retired. Yeah.
Yeah. So
they're probably gonna have a moment of silence for him after the national anthem.
He's gonna walk on the field.
It's done. Yeah.
He's got to be a part of the Super Bowl one way or the other. I love that running joke. Like even that year he didn't make it, he was part of like the top 50 or something like that, 50 greatest players, and he still was at the Super Bowl. He finds a way to get there, regardless of if he makes it or not.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Also, the over/under on how many times will home field advantage be brought up?
What's the number?
The over. It's at 1.5, which I thought was super low. So they're going to over that in the first 2 minutes.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Especially Al Michaels is on the call. Come on, he's going to talk about it every chance he gets.
Yeah, especially if it starts going their way. It's easy.
Like,
money.
well, this home field advantage.
What site is this? I need to.
I found it all through Twitter. I didn't go on like an actual site, but I found it all through Twitter.
I'm so pissed that I don't live in a state. Like I could try to download the app here in North Carolina, and they're like, "Where do you live, bro?
I send me your money. I'm in Tennessee. Let's do this."
Wait, where do you live in North Carolina?
Like it's just I live in Raleigh, like the capital. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I do.
No, do you like?
Y'all got to go grab a drink, man.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I didn't know you lived here.
Yeah. What the hell?
God damn. Yeah, I thought you were in honestly New York or Wilmington.
I lived in Philly and New York and Wilmington, but 2 years ago moved to Raleigh. Yeah.
Oh shit! Damn, that was light work.
Nickel and dime creating friendships. But the over 1.5 is at plus 150. So.
Oh yeah,
make some money. Yeah.
Which celebrity will be shown on camera first? With Magic Johnson at 2-1 odds, LeBron at 5-2, and Kevin Hart and Justin Timberlake at 3-1.
What's more interesting, I think, is great question by the way, but like, did these celebrities already confirm that they're going to be at the game?
Right.
Like,
I guess they just thinking like anything LA, Magic Johnson shows up.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, LeBron probably already has like a suite.
Yeah.
Gotta be. I don't know, Mara, what you think, man?
For some reason, when you said that, I just first thought of Lil Wayne. I don't know why.
He does show up at big sporting events,
right?
So,
yeah.
He does.
I could see that.
I think they still show Snoop Dogg first.
Yeah.
I think Snoop's there. He's like the official mayor of LA. You know, I think they show him and like coming up at halftime.
Right. That's what I was actually going to say to Slack is like we talked about it a little bit last week, but like if he wins the Super Bowl, how awesome is it that when you look back on him, like, damn, Dr. Dre was at my fucking Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't Katy Perry.
Aerosmith crushed it the year my team won.
Damn, yeah.
Although that performance with Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Will we get a titty this year?
You want to hear a funny story about that?
Yeah,
so
of course.
I was 8 years old. Obviously, I have Tourette's, obviously, and as it happened, I like twitched and missed it.
Oh no!
So I could have like that could have been my first boot that I saw.
Oh no! That's hilarious. Me and Shawn were freshmen in college at East Carolina.
Wow.
Wait, that was the titty year?
That was the titty year. It was Carolina Patriots. 03-04.
I love that we just called it the titty year. But now I'm not calling it anything else. Okay.
Yeah. The Panthers and Patriots were in the Super Bowl that year. We watched it in our dorms at East Carolina.
Wow.
Saw a titty in college for the change.
Hopefully we were seeing more titties than just Janet Jackson. When we was never going to touch in the first place.
Saw a prop bet on the outcome of the first coaches challenge. Is it going to stand or is it overturned with the slight plus 110?
I would say stand. Right? Don't most challenges end up being like
I feel like
yeah. So. Well, because like I feel like they, even though this isn't worked into the rules, but like the common sense in the camera angles, like the refs are like looking up, you can see them in the camera. Right. Yeah. They're like looking at the teleprompter to see where it's and then
but the coaches are doing the same thing, like with the flag in hand. Like
yeah. Right. Well, it's like, and the coaches should be, but the refs should not be.
Don't you? I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have ever had the sheer joy of being a ref or umpire or anything like that, but when you make a trigger call and then you immediately are like, is that right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I used to ref hockey, and you got to be right there at the goal line, and this is rec hockey. I don't have all the technology to where like a light goes off if it breaks a plane or something. You know what I mean? So I got to be like, I think that went in.
Bro, like I haven't done it for a league. Like, I mean, I guess, but like whenever I play, adult kickball, and they have to like basically get other teams to ref the other team's games, and like that is very low
pressure,
stakes.
man. But still,
put your
pressure.
butt on, get on the mound. Like people will be like shaking your hand 2 seconds before and will be MFing you, and that's low stakes. So man. I can't imagine.
I was 16 years old reffing 7-year-old hockey league games, and I had parents ready to fight me in the parking lot. I'm like, oh, your kid's gonna make it to the NHL from Pinehurst, North Carolina? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, man.
This is roller hockey, my dude.
They got dreams, man. They got dreams.
Yeah. Another one was total successful field goals with the over-under sitting at 3.5. I feel like you got to be over that. I mean, but that's a good number, 3.5. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd say over.
Yeah. I think over too, especially the way McPherson was putting them through. You know,
he'll have 3.5 himself.
Right. Yeah, I'll go over.
What about color of the Gatorade shower?
Oh, the old tried and true, baby.
Yeah, the yellow and orange are the leading, and then you got other, yellow, orange, or other.
I'm taking house money. I'm taking the field at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you're the Bengals, don't you have green? Don't you have orange Gatorade though?
Well, definitely. Yeah, but I agree.
And Rams have yellow.
I would say other, because I feel like, I don't know. Do they ever do like the color of the team?
Probably not. That's just me being stupid. If I was the person picking the Gatorade, I'd be like, Bengals get orange.
Yeah, right.
Right. Apparently, like the Gatorade situation on football teams is a serious situation. Like,
right. That's what I'm saying. How do you describe? How do you have an assortment? Do you have to vote as a team? Like, now that I'm talking this out, I'm very intrigued with how Gatorade is picked for these teams. Like, do you have like you pass the hat and take a vote? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or is it like coaches, like, I've been giving yellow Gatorade to my team since 1991. Like, I'm very intrigued now. Like, I want to make a team just to be like, so how'd y'all get your Gatorade?
Yeah, I feel like it probably is definitely a mixture of the team, but what, like, also if they get a gutty victory and the Gatorade is fruit punch that week, and
you got to keep fruit punch.
That fruit punch, man.
You got to keep fruit punch. That's a very good point. Does it alternate? Like, does one guy that's been with the team for like 12 years be like, ooh, week 10, it's grape week? Like, I'm very intrigued with how they pick this now, you know?
Yeah, damn. We can do a whole podcast on that, but like, the ESPN
powered by Gatorade.
30 for 30 Gatorade, baby.
I want to know it.
Yeah, I like that.
And then of course, the biggest prop bet that's going around, just because you got to stay topical. But will a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT be shown during the halftime show?
Will an NFT be shown?
The most famous one, the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Oh,
the cartoon ape that like everyone shows for NFTs.
Really?
I don't understand any of this world. It's a prop bet that's been floating around everywhere, and people are pumped about it.
I feel like NFTs were like hot for a second, and then like I hadn't heard shit about them.
I haven't
like
felt
randomly, right? And then randomly, like 5 days ago, it's like all across my feed. Like I started seeing articles about this guy making $109,000, and like apparently they're a thing. Is Top Shot even a thing anymore? I don't know.
I just learned about crypto, man, and I don't even know that. Like, I learned about it enough to buy some Ethereum. Like, that's about it.
I just like when they say that crypto is like not doing well, and I'm like, yeah, see, that's why I didn't invest in it. Because I'm smart.
Yeah. I happened, complete luck, bought low and sold high on Ethereum the first round, and I'm too scared to like get back. I was like, I made some money, I don't need to risk it.
Right.
Enough for me.
I understand that. I get that. But no, I probably, whatever it is, just because it's a money grab, I'm still like, I've been telling that stat that you told me last week to answer the question. I'm going with the over because it's a fad thing now.
Yeah.
But like that random ass inflation part of the podcast that we had last week when we was talking about that $75,000, I cannot get that out of my head. Greedy bastards, NFL. Jesus Christ.
Did you hear the winning team, Chris, just to bring you up on what Sean's talking about last week? The winning team, each player gets $150,000. The losing team gets $75,000.
Wow.
But just think about each 30-second ad space is 5.6 or $6.5 million.
Right.
Right. Like, come on now. Cut the check, man.
Right.
That's why Goodell got to fuel that Goodell jet, man. Come on, no, it's expensive these days.
Every year, like there's like 3 huge stories that make you realize the NFL is just so corrupt.
Yeah,
like it's just so bad, but you can't not watch.
You
cannot
not watch.
Yes.
Snyder's facing allegations. Like, how long before they force his hand and make themselves
him and
the Commanders?
The Dolphins owner too.
Yeah,
he'll probably get forced to sell too. So.
Well,
they
at least
said
like
that
I feel like they're going. Go ahead.
They said that they hate having more than one franchise for sale at a time, so they're trying to force the Broncos sell, so then they can deal because they got a big plate ahead of them. They got Snyder in Washington, Miami, and the case with Flores, and the Chargers don't have any money.
Yeah,
So they got to figure all that out.
I didn't even think about all of that, but like those are stories that obviously we probably don't see a lot about because they're trying to keep it under wraps, so it just flies under the radar. But like that was the question that I was going to ask. This whole like Hugh Jackson situation is like Brian Flores is one thing, but I am a little leery about a notoriously losing franchise's former head coach being like, man, they was out here trying to pay me to lose games. Like, bro, you lost a lot of games though.
But did you see him though? Like, not to make light of any of this situation whatsoever, because I legitimately think Flores has a case and I hope real change happens. But I love that Hugh Jackson was like, yeah, man, they paid me to lose games. And they're like, they did. And he's like, nah, I mean, they didn't pay me per se, you know.
Right. I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not like, I want all of the, black coaches to get on board with that. But like, if Hugh Jackson is not the number 2 guy,
I'm sure Flores was like,
as he has to be my, supporter, like my first supporter.
You want Mike Tomlin to be
right.
Yeah.
You don't like, because Flores probably was like, so who else is jumping on board? And his lawyer was like, we got Hugh Jackson on board.
And Flores is like, you know what? Never mind. It's not
drop the suit. I don't care.
Man, that's so crazy, bro. Like, and this is the thing is like, I guess we'll move on to the next joint after this, the next prop bet. But it's like, this happened and like everybody thought this was probably happened anyway. So like this is why like black people think that white folks have secret white meetings. Like they said the quiet part out loud, man.
Wait a minute, they know about
they don't say the quiet part out loud and y'all fucked up. Belichick was supposed to be solid and he like, he might be close to the end in the beginning, bro. Like that's
love this. I just hope Belichick's sitting there, but like, if I can't win the Super Bowl, then I want it all to burn.
I can see that happen too. He's a straight sociopath, that guy.
Well, Sean, I promise you that if there are secret meetings going on, me and Chris don't make enough money to be invited.
Hey, they going on somewhere. That's
they don't like poor white folk either. Okay.
Yeah, right.
They hate everybody. They hate everybody.
Yeah. Well, no, that's it for the prop bets, but I just got a question because I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of the subsidiaries of the Super Bowl is the commercials. Love the commercials, love marketing schemes.
Yeah.
Who has the best commercial? Who are you predicting? Because Budweiser always has the tearjerker, with the horses or the puppies. Doritos always comes correct.
They come with they usually come with something nice.
It's gonna be some like smaller like Rocket Mortgage or something.
GoDaddy.com.
Yeah, and they're swinging for the fences, so they're not worried about offending people.
Yeah.
Did you see over under on how many commercials have Joe Rogan on?
Oh my.
Ooh,
No.
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna pick the tried and true. I'm going Nike. It's about time for a big Nike, commercial.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a big Nike fan. I'm good with that.
Yeah. I think Nike. And right as a quick aside here, but speaking of Nike, are there any really dynamic shoes that you're gotta have them right now? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm more they need to get out there a little bit. I'm going Nike.
Okay. All right. And they're about to, Adidas is about to re-release Kobe's first shoe, so I can see that being a commercial.
Ooh, all right. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a car company. I think Nissan's going to come out of nowhere and have the commercial of the year.
I'll just say Rocket Mortgage because for some reason
it's a safe bet. It is a safe bet.
Can I just say I forget the company. It was the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl a few years ago, and they had a string of 4. I think it was a car company, and it was about this girl immigrating illegally to the United States from Mexico, and it was follow her story at Honda.com, and I'm like, this what happened to commercials? I'm all for going for freedom and stuff, but I'm not gonna go online and be what happened to Anita?
Also, if she's coming illegally, that we don't need a paper trail. You trying to get her caught up? What is going on here?
Yeah.
I don't
that's so random and obscure that I feel afterwards, the ad team was you know what, that was not a good idea. Yeah. That was in hindsight,
I just hope that randomly at a board meeting they're I wonder what happened to Anita.
Yeah, right.
It's probably the running joke
because they did nothing to help her out. They just used her story to sell product.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. All right, cool.
All right.
Well, what do you got? Slack picked the Bengals to win 24-20. So, Chris, what's your score and prediction?
I'm gonna say 27-24. Who day? Let's go Bengals.
Awfully close score to what Slack had. Yeah, I think he had 24-20. Yeah, 24-20. So.
I'm just thinking there's one pick six from Stafford, one bomb to Jamar Chase.
One to Boyd. Boyd's gonna get a touchdown.
I mean they're fun to watch. So
maybe Mixon.
I'm just worried about Aaron Donald. The Bengals line is so bad. I think Aaron Donald might get 3 sacks.
We talked about it. We talked about this with Slack. The regular season, Burrow 51 sacks in 16 games. He didn't even play the full 17.
He holds on to the ball a long time, but I was kind of hoping Slack would be on with me because in August I was on his radio show for ESPN Wilmington, and he was really upset they drafted Chase over Sewell, and I was like, no, dude, an elite wide receiver has more impact than elite tackle. He's like, but what are we gonna do? Blah blah blah. And now they're in the Super Bowl, and I want
yeah.
Look,
we'll send him this clip. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but that's the craziest. I hope in ironic land that they get to the Super Bowl and then lose because they don't have Sewell. You know what I mean? I don't.
That's the chaos you like there, Shawn.
Right.
Yeah, but no, I think they're going to sell out to stop Chase. So, Drew, I really think, to your point, it's going to have to be somebody else to start a game. I think Higgins and Mixon, and of course Burrow. I think Burrow can
run too.
He can. I'm just not counting out the Cincinnati defense because the Cincinnati defense is also the reason why this team got here. Yeah. Mike Hilton's been playing lights out. Again, putting himself in
playing decent, so something's up.
That's what I'm saying. If you can get that kind of play out of the worst people on your team,
yeah.
This is the former New York Giants Super Bowl. You got Odell Beckham, Eli Apple, and even B.J. Hill, who we traded for Billy Price. B.J. Hill's having a good season. It's
yeah.
It's fun being a fan, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it's great. A lot of fun.
I don't know why we do this to ourselves.
I think B.J. Hill's NC State guy too. I want to say.
Yeah, he is.
Nice. Yeah.
Boo. Boo.
Yeah.
Our heels. All right, Chris, thank you so much, man. Where can they find you on social media?
Follow me on Instagram, Marathon, Marrathon. Twitter, I got drunk last night, started a fight with a comedian with a lot of followers.
I saw.
I think he's an idiot, but I mean, we could talk
mentions in shambles right now, or not in shambles, depending.
I was about to say, man,
shit up.
The good thing about that is, like, when you're at mine and Chris's level and you go after a bigger name, we don't have anything to lose.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, Twitter's Marinara, like the sauce.
Go see his fight with a bigger comedian.
Yeah. So
I love it.
Check this out.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Chris. We'll definitely be bringing you back in come draft time for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. I've already done over 100 mock drafts.
So I read a few myself. All right, Shawn, any more thoughts before we see if we're going to end our tiebreaker in these locks?
Man, I speechless. I want the Bucks to figure it out. That's the final thoughts. That's what that is. Like, don't be afraid of life after Tom Brady. I'm self-serving.
I'm intrigued to see who y'all bring in as your QB, man. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a high profile.
We that's what I'm saying. Like, we are a part of the domino effect of this offseason, like, because of the person that's retiring, you know what I'm saying? And the free agents to come, a lot to shake out, and we'll be one of
quarterback
5, 6
carousel.
Yeah, one of 5, 6 teams, man. And it nervous.
I hear you, man. Well, best of luck to you. We'll touch base next week. Check back in. We'll do our end of the year Super Bowl recap and our players of
NFL honors
award. Yeah. So we'll have our offensive rookies of the year, our defensive rookies, our defensive players, our coaches, MVP, blah 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 blah. So come on back for that. But let's hear it, Shawn. What's your Super Bowl score and prediction?
Man, I gotta go with the Bengals, man. I gotta go with the Bengals, and I'm hoping you pick the Rams, because if you don't and it's a sweep for all four, right, that means the Rams are going to win it. So I'm going with the Bengals. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than people think. So I'm going Bengals 31, Rams 20. No, Rams 20, 30, 31-30. I'm going 31-30. Put it down.
Try to give people some heart attacks here. Okay.
Yeah. It's been too many close games this year, man. 31-30.
Does it go to overtime?
No.
All right. Well, I indeed have the Rams. I think
Nice.
Stafford limits his oopsies. And I got the Rams 35-32.
Okay. Good score. 2-point conversion in there somewhere. Safety. I don't know. You know.
Oh, did I do that to myself? I don't know. I think McPherson's going to kick a lot of field goals. So I had that.
I could see that. I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the offensive.
Nope. I'll go 35. I'll go 35-33. My bad.
I got you.
I messed up my math there. Yeah, I don't think there's safeties or anything like that. So.
I'm surprised that one of the prop bets wasn't how many people get their ass whooped in the LA stadium after the game. Right. You know, like,
yeah. I mean,
especially if they lose.
I love seeing those fights in the stands.
Out of there. Get out of there, man.
Go home.
Yeah.
I couldn't see. That's why I don't know. Like, it'd be cool to go to the Super Bowl, but like, I don't know if I'd ever want to go in person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Big crowds like that.
I would definitely go to the Super Bowl, but I don't know that I would go to the Super Bowl in LA with LA playing. Because they fans fight. They fight them, all the Bay Area cats, the Raiders.
How many times you hear about someone getting thrown off a balcony at the Dodgers Giants game? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, y'all calm down out there. What y'all got to be mad about? I know it's hot, but maybe that's what it is. People
Dodgers are good,
heat, man.
You got LeBron James. Rams and Chargers got good few. Calm down. All right, you got two soccer teams.
And Herb Legal out there.
Right.
Chill out.
Relax.
Wow, man.
Shawn, where can they find you?
At the Kid Suds on Twitter, man, at nickel_dom FB, and at the illustrious nickel_dom football on Instagram, man. Follow us there. Drew, what about you, man?
At Laugh with Harrison on Instagram. Be on the lookout, recording a comedy album, my debut album, based on a Drew story. Recording that here in the next
great title,
couple of weeks. Thank you. And it'll be dropping later on this year. So follow me, DrewHarrisonComedy.com. Got links to everything. It's new, revamped. Check it out. But that's it, man. Let's enjoy the Super Bowl. Let's eat some good food, hang out with some friends. And we will see you next week to put a stamp on this 2021-2022 season.